of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there. Hello there, family. Welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know I like to say it. That's WURDradio.com. Hey there. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, April 17th. I can't believe that. Y'all, well, I tell y'all that every single time I tell you the date. I can't believe that we are already in April and I keep saying it's summer and it's not summer. I'm all confused. I don't know what's going on, but I am enjoying it. Okay. At the core of it all, I am enjoying this 80-degree weather, this 75-degree weather. I want it all. I want it all. That's how the song goes, right? I want it all. So in any event, I'm happy that you're here. Family members that are joining us on our socials, I'm always happy to see you. Davina, hey there. Sanji, hi there. Hi there. So happy to have you all with us. So, here at Love and Life, we discuss everything under the umbrellas of both love and life, whatever it is. This is that safe space. This is where we talk. Now, y'all have heard me talk enough. You know how transparent I am about life, about everything. I tell y'all everything, but I don't mind because y'all are my family. In any event, this is what we do. This is why we do it. This is what we do it because I happen to believe that we don't talk enough. We don't share enough. Enough information is not shared amongst all of us. There's power. There's power in words. So when you share information and you communicate effectively, it's helpful to somebody. And there just might be a pearl in somebody's story that is helpful to another individual. I truly do believe that. So with that said, I love all of our guests. I believe each and every one of our guests is dynamic and phenomenal. And that's no different than tonight. Tonight, we have return guests. We have none other than Jay and Conchetta Williams, who joined us some time ago. There they are, family. There they are. They joined us some time ago, and we were talking about life. We were talking about everything involving life, the ups, downs, the in-betweens. We concentrated on just everyday living. And I think that's a good thing. Right, Jay? We started talking about everyday living. I'm teasing Jay. I'm teasing him. That's what I'm doing. But family, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. It is truly my pleasure. So family, when Jay and Conchetta were here before, we were just talking about, like I said, life. We were talking about their life together, being a married couple. So for those family members who are new to both the room, the space, the house, and to Jay and Conchetta, we're just going to go back over some things, if that's all right. So Jay and Conchetta, would you please tell our family members a little bit about the two of you, from where you come individually?
Okay. I guess you want me to go first. So I'm originally from Philadelphia, born and raised in Philadelphia. Met Jay when I was 15. We were married when I was 19. We've been married now. It'll be 32 years this year in May, next month. We have 2 children and we have a grandson on the way.
Woo! Okay, so Jay, where do you come from? Where did you grow up?
I'm originally from Maryland, from Aberdeen, Maryland. Moved to Philadelphia as a youngin', and where I met my wife, my beautiful wife.
Yes, she is.
And yeah, I'm about to have a grandson.
I love that. Wait, I love the pause when you said that. Yeah, I'm about to have like you just found out. Like you're just like, yeah. Is it still sinking in?
It is.
Yeah. I can only imagine that it is, because you have 2 beautiful children, two grown beautiful children, and now you're thinking, wait a minute, we about to bring a baby into the fold. But it must feel so good.
It does. I'm ecstatic. I cannot wait.
I know you can't. I know
my friends are sick of me, but I'm ready.
Wait, so are you going to be a glam mom? Is that what?
No, my name is Honey.
Oh, I love that, honey. Oh,
My
so
name is
she said my name is Honey. Wait, family, did you see the glow when she said it? Did you see the way she said it? Did you see how she set up and she made us aware? No glam mom. Honey. And even the way you said it. I love that. Sanji, so she said we can't wait either. We cannot wait. I am so excited for you that you have this new like sugar lump. You know, I call all the babies sugar lumps. You have this new sugar lump coming along. But I'm so curious to know. Well, you know, I'm familiar, but I'm curious. I'd like for you to share with our family members how you met. How did you 2 meet?
Okay, that was a funny story last time. But Jay and I, well, he was in Philadelphia, and he followed me into the cleaners. I went into the cleaners one day, and he followed me into the cleaners, asked me for my number, and I told him no, and he asked me not to embarrass him in front of his friends, and so I gave him my number, and he didn't answer the phone for a little while. He was never home for a while.
Okay.
He was never home for a while, and then I finally called one more time, and he answered, and we met up a day or so later, and we've been together ever since.
Okay. Now, Jay, why were you playing hard to get? What was going on?
I mean, I was living life.
That's what he said the last time.
Wait, I like the pause. He said, "Yeah, I mean, I was living life." Well, I don't know what but so let me ask you this. Like I said, you know, we're going to go over this because there's some family members who are new to this conversation. When you saw her and you said, okay, was this like one of those dares that, you know, because you told her not to embarrass you in front of your friends? Was this a dare?
No, I wasn't a dare. I mean, I said, ooh, I'm gonna get her number. You know, we had this thing as young boys. We said, nah, you ain't gonna get that number. She's too nice for you. She's too beautiful for you. But I'm the man, so.
Oh, all right.
But not to mention, my grandfather was known in our neighborhood. He was known as, they called him Cadillac Joe, but because he always drove Cadillacs, but he was very, very mean. And so when people found out that he was talking to me, they was like, you know, that's Cadillac Joe's granddaughter.
Like, you about to die. You about to die.
Yeah, that was, you're not gonna get her number. So yeah.
That is too cute. That is too cute. So wait a minute. Did that help? Did they keep you on your on your P's and Q's, so to speak? Because she was Cadillac Joe's. I mean, you come on now. You got to come correct with Cadillac Joe's granddaughter.
I didn't care. Cadillac Joe was going to have to release him one day.
You're talking tough. What is you're talking heavy? Like they say, you're talking heavy, Jay. You're talking
I was ready for all the smoke when I seen that.
You hear this? He said I was ready for all the smoke. Okay. So when you met him, did you have the same approach when you met Cadillac Joe? Did you have the same approach? Were you still ready for all the smoke?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a done deal by then.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was a done deal.
Yeah.
Look at the smile. Wait, y'all, family. Okay, family. Y'all see what I see. If you have just tuned in, you tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. On air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. We're talking with Jay and Conchetta Williams, and we're talking about love. We are talking about love. We're talking about new love, fresh love. We're talking about love. We're talking about, living in love and the journey that they have been on for 32?
32. Well, actually, we've been married for 32, but we've been together for 36
years. Mm-hmm. We're talking about their journey of love that has taken place over the last 36 years. And this is just the beginning, because they're embarking on another milestone with a little sugar lump on the way. Okay, that I can't wait. I can't wait for the sugar lump. But family, you know what I say. I tell you all the time that I believe that everybody's story can impact another person's story or journey. And I think it's important that we all share and we communicate and we talk. So I am inviting you to the conversation. You can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I just want to show some more love to our family members on our socials, because they're saying, listen, you are their favorites, okay, because of all this love. And I have to tell you that I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, because you see the smiles, you feel the love through the screens, those of you that are watching. But when you talk to them, when you're in their company, it doesn't change. It's the same. It is the same. Hey there, Gary. Gary Bryant is with us on our socials, and he's saying, good evening, WURD family. Gary, we're talking about love. We are talking about love, and we've got a love story here that we're sharing. Because, I like to try to bring you a little bit of everything so we can talk about everything. So tonight we're talking about love, and we're talking about the love story of the Williams family. So Jay, you said, okay, I saw her and I said, yeah, I'm gonna get her number. I'm going to get her number. And then you got her number, and then you played hard to get. Yeah. For how long did you play hard to get?
I don't know about a week.
It was a couple of weeks. No, it was about a week and a half. Yeah, about a week and a half.
For about a week and a half?
Yeah.
You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break right now. But when we come back, I want to hear all about this week and a half break and why we had to do this. Family, stay with us, okay? Because we'll be right back. Okay.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up. Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
What are you waiting for?
If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting
for? What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned into Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, we are here talking about love. Love, love, love. And we're inviting you to join the conversation. You can do so by calling us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We're talking with none other than Jay and Conchetta Williams. Davina is joining us on our socials. And Davina says, look, I love this couple right here. You hear me? I love them. Truly a blessing to know them both. I have to say, I love all the love that you two are receiving. I love all of this love. Now, Jay, don't think I'm going to let you get away with this, because before the break, you shared that you saw her from afar and you said, I'm going to get her number. And then you got it. And then you played hard to get. And you said it was about a week. That's a long time now. That's a long time.
It's really not.
Well, with new love, especially, that's a long time.
Yeah, but I had the next 50 years to think about, and a week to sew things up.
You know, you really thought about that.
A lot of time considering 50 years, thinking 50 years ahead. So.
You know what? You really thought about that. You thought about that.
He did.
You gave me a commercial to think about.
I was about to say that whole commercial break. You thought about that response. You said, all right, this is I love that though. I love the preparation. Mm-hmm. But okay, so you didn't know. Or did you? I don't know. Sometimes they say the man knows. You know, the Bible does read, he who finds a wife. You know, so did you know? Did you know when you saw her?
I did know.
You did.
Yeah.
He said he did. I will say though, in his defense, that because I was Cadillac Joe's granddaughter, I couldn't have boys call my house, so I had to call him. He couldn't return the call,
right,
but he was never home when I called. So it took. That's why I said the last call, and I was like, "This is going to be it," and he was home.
Wow. She had her fill of calling you. Was it back then with the rotary phones when we had our?
Oh yeah,
we had our rotary phones.
I was using a push button, but my grandparents had a rotary phone. Yeah,
nothing like those rotary. But so you had her waiting for this week while you had to digest the fact that you just saw the woman with whom you'd be with for the remainder of your life. You said, "This is it. This is it." So I need a little minute before I jump into this.
That's it.
Did you hear me say you had to tie things up?
Yeah, okay, I did. I was going, okay, what does that mean, Joe? Jay, what does that mean, Jay? What'd you have to tie up?
Amazing. Yeah, use your imagination.
What were you tying up, Jay? What? Just life. Mm-hmm. Life, tying up life. Okay. All right. So when you came her way, you came correctly.
That's it.
Everything was done. Everything was tight. You know, I have to say this, though, because I appreciate that. I so appreciate that. He said, wait, I made the initial approach, but I took the necessary time to make sure everything was, there would be nothing in the way. No one and no thing in the way. Now that I appreciate. So I want to know, okay, the first date. What was the first date like?
True, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't even. Our first date. What did we do?
I don't know.
I think
Because
that
I
was
met you
rather
at the bus
hard. It was rather hard for me to get away for like a first date. Again, I wasn't supposed to have a boyfriend, so we had to sneak to
I
see
do.
each
I do
other.
remember talking on the phone, and because I wanted to see you, because I haven't seen you in a week.
Right.
So I was like, "Hey, I got to remember what this girl looked like. I know she's fine, but I can't remember."
And so he met me at the bus
we
stop.
met at the bus stop, and I said, "That's my wife." Right. That's when I knew that was my wife.
He did.
That is. Did he tell you that? Did he tell
No,
you that
he
in the
actually
beginning?
told his mom.
He told his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, okay. How did that conversation go?
No, I just came and said, "Mom, look, I met my wife. I'll be getting married in a couple years, and I'll be leaving the nest."
Wait, what?
No, I just told her, I just told her basically how I just met this lovely young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Oh, she's been calling here all week for you."
Mom put it all out there. That's who's been calling here all week, and it has been her.
All week she was like, "Jay is not here." Click.
Wait, that's okay. So that was how our family was. My mother, my aunts, everybody. That was just the way back then. Like,
Yeah.
stop calling here. Stop calling my house. Stop. Yeah, that was just the way that it was.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how you're 36 years in. Well, Conchetta said, "Well, look, I didn't scare easily. You didn't scare easily either, right?" She's like,
No,
"Yeah, okay. Well, he's not there now. I'll call back." So you identified something in him too.
Well, see, he had everything that I always looked for. He was caramel complexion. He was bow-legged.
Okay.
And he had thick eyebrows. And he had great, pretty white teeth and a beautiful smile.
I love it. Wait, you hear? Oh, look at this. Look at him. Look at. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. He said that caramel complexion, that smile, that was those pretty white teeth, and those bow legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Okay, so
really
that was the recipe. That you two are too cute. I think it is just too cute. Family, do you hear this? If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. Here on Love and Life, we talk about everything. We talk about absolutely everything. And tonight we're talking about love. I want to hear about your love story too. That we're talking about love and we're inviting you to join the conversation because that's what we do here. We talk about everything. You heard me say it. You heard me keep saying it. And we're inviting you to call in and talk with us. And you can do so by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. So we're talking with Jay and Conchetta Williams, and we're talking about how they first met, how Jay played hard to get. I must keep saying that. I must bring that back. And how Conchetta said it was okay because I gave him 1 week. And if he didn't make good on him getting my number in this 1 week, then that was it. And it just so happens that the one time when she said, okay, this is the last time I'm calling, he was home. Jay said he had to tie some things up. Sanji said, yeah, you had to say your goodbyes. Okay. Yes, that's what she said. That's what she said. But
Sanji's a mess.
So they said, I hear this. I love Sanji already. So here we are. Neither one of you remember the first date. Now that's how you know this is love. This is real love. They don't even remember their first date, family. Okay. But here we are 36 years later and they're still going strong. So, okay. I want to know. Jay said, all right, Mom, look, I just met, the girl that I'm going to marry. Did she laugh? Because you said you had to tie things up. So did she say, okay? Or what was her response?
I mean, no. I was just telling her basically, that she's a very nice girl.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed, to be from a nice household. She talks well. She looks absolutely gorgeous. And I enjoyed her company. Yeah.
Okay. At hello, he said he knew at hello. This is what was it about her that you knew at hello? What was it about her when you saw her and at hello you knew you were going to marry her? What was that? He is laughing.
It was that walk for me.
Ah!
Good Lord. It was that walk.
Family.
We have a thing in the family about the Davises. The Davis women.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have some beautiful figures.
Okay. All right. Family, you hear what he's saying. You hear what he's saying because I hear it loud and clearly. Okay. He said it was nothing but that walk.
She was a model, so she knew how to walk. And I seen her from a distance coming towards me. I was like, good Lord, that mercy. Goodness gracious.
So wait, Cheddar, you saw him. You said you saw that caramel complexion. Did you put it on? You know.
She did. She came down that sidewalk like she was on a runway.
Well, listen, it paid off. It surely paid off. It paid off. So let me say, okay, so you saw him. Who saw who first? Wait.
You know what? I didn't see him until he came into the cleaners. I didn't like see him until he came into the cleaners and he started talking to me.
Well, I'm talking about the first when we hooked up after that week.
Oh, after that.
Yeah, I seen you.
You talking about at the bus stop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This was the first time when you guys met at the bus stop, when you first got together.
Oh, yeah. When I saw him at the bus stop and I was walking towards him, he started smiling. And I was like, dang, smile. Ah!
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
And then he was standing. Not only was he bow-legged, but you know the term, like he stood back on his leg. You know how they say he stood back on their hunches? Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
So you're all flushed at this point, all hot and bothered. Okay, looking at his bow legs, and he can't wait to see you walk. I love it. Oh, Lord. And y'all were teenagers? Heavens to Mercury. Well, you were
17.
Wait, how old?
He was 17.
And you
lied to me.
Oh,
he lied. Wait a minute, you lied about your age, Jay?
Just a little bit.
Wait a minute. How old did you tell her you were, Jay?
20, right? Mm-hmm. 20.
Wait. Cheddar, you say you were how old? You were how old?
Next question.
What you doing? What you doing?
Next question.
I said, wait a minute, rewind for a minute. Rewind. You know, we all out here stirring up strife, hate, and discontent. I see what's happening here. Okay. She's all caught up in the bow legs and he's caught up in the walk. So everybody's out here like, I'm 20.
I didn't lie about my age though. I didn't.
Okay.
Most young girls wanted older guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, you said, all right, well, I'm 20.
So we met in December, and then in February, I was at his house waiting for him, and his mom said, I can't believe my baby's going to be 18 years old. I said, what?
Who?
He going to be what?
You said who? Who?
Mom's always exposed.
Mom was doing her job. She's trying to keep her baby honest. You hear that? But you were already in by then, right? Huh?
I don't think she knew he lied.
And you were already in by then. You know what? Gary on our socials is saying, I can see that the Williams are a great couple. He loves your chemistry and your authenticity. Aww. I love that. Love that. Hi, Joanne. Joanne is also joining us on our socials. And she thinks you two are hilarious, as do I. Family, you know where you are. You know what it is. We're here on Love and Life at on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. And we're talking with the Williams. Okay, you see me trying to pull it out of them. This love affair here. I love the love between the two of you. And I love these smiles. Do you notice? Now, family, I'm talking to you. Do you notice as you're watching them, those of you who are listening, I know you can hear it because you hear the giggles. But family, those of you who are watching, do you see these smiles when they're talking about each other and when they're talking about this? I love that. That alone. After 36 years, you two are talking about each other in the day that you first saw each other. And then the first like encounter that you had after first meeting, and you two are still smiling like you are reliving this moment. I love that. I love that. So let's fast forward. So, okay. So we meet, we go out on this first date that we don't remember. And because it was so good. It was so good. and so how long did you two date before you decided, well, before you proposed, I should say, because Jay, you said you knew when you met her that you were going to marry her. So how long had you guys been together before you were married?
We were together for about 4 years before we got married. He actually proposed, and then I got pregnant with my son, and then we got married right after that. Yeah. So
I love it. Okay, so now we have a baby boy on the way, and we get married. And well, let me ask you this: were you planning to have children? Was having children in the plan for you? I know some couples talk and say we don't want kids, or
we hadn't really talked about it.
Okay.
We hadn't talked about it. I mean, it was in the plan. I know it was, eventually, because both of us wanted children, but we had not planned that. I wound up getting pregnant probably not far after we got engaged. Not too far after we got engaged. Yeah.
Okay.
So my mother asked me, are you getting married? And I said, no, Grandma, I don't want to get married just because I'm pregnant. I want him to marry just because I'm pregnant. And he said, I'm trying to marry her, but she don't want to get married. And I was like, really? Did you just throw me under the bus with my question?
Well, Jay said he knew from day one. So it sounded like you had to get with the program, Conchetta. Jay was like, look, okay, I'm already here. I'm at the altar, so I'm just waiting for you. I'm just waiting for you. That's what it sounds like. And you said, here I am, I'm pregnant. And you're like, no, I want you to marry me for me. And Jay was like, well, look, I told you from hello that I was. So because it sounds like, Conchetta, it sounds like you were like, okay, so I just really need to know that this is what you want to do. When was that moment for you?
For me?
When did you realize? You were like, okay, so.
Well, yeah. After I had my son, we were actually just sitting in the room, sitting in the bed, and I was holding little Jay, and he said, we should just go ahead and get married. And I looked at him. I didn't say anything. He said, we should just go ahead and get married. Okay. And so we started planning. I think that was actually in March, and we got married in May.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I called my family, and my family put everything together.
Huge wedding.
And we had a big wedding.
The one thing that I am, it's been consistent with the couples with whom I've spoken that have been married in excess of 20 years. The majority of you say, yeah, we met, we talked, we met this month, and then, we were married either 2 months, 3 months. It's within a 6-month period. The majority of the majority of the couples with whom I've spoken who have these long-standing relationships. And I think that's amazing. You hear, and I know it's different. It's different for everybody. Absolutely. But, you'll hear some people say, no, you got to be friends. You got to make sure you develop your friendship. You got to make sure, and I know different strokes for different folks. I get that too. I definitely understand that. But it's always interesting to hear, from those of you like my aunt and uncle who've been married for 55 years, they met, it was 3 months for them. They were like, no, And they only saw each other, I think, twice within that 3-month period.
Well, I think that, for us, we were young, 15 and 17. We were just enjoying each other, having fun, you know what I mean? And enjoying life. And then the events started happening. And so, we was like, well, okay, we're not going nowhere. We're going to be with each other. So we're going to go ahead and get married. I think today, not that it's not a bad thing, but I think today people analyze their timeline and where they want to be and what they're going to do. And they put themselves on this schedule, this timeline, what they're supposed to be doing at 20 and 25 and 30. And there's not absolutely nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you got to leave room for God to give you his plan. You know what I mean? You have your plan mapped out, but make sure that your plan is in line with God's plan.
Indeed, always.
I said this in our first interview, we didn't invite God in our life early in our marriage. But we
both knew God.
We knew God.
You had a relationship with God.
Individually. But we didn't invite him into our union early on. And so we see now that it was orchestrated. Our unity was orchestrated. But yeah, I think sometimes that people don't give room to allow God to give you his plan for your life when it comes to love. You know what I mean? So,
I love how you explain that. I think you're absolutely right. Well, they do say, we tend to plan a lot. We think that, we are controlling things when we're actually not. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a call. We have actually one of our friends on the line. Ron, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Jay and the lady, I want to tell y'all a story real quick. And I heard you tell this story before, Mr. J, and your wife. And the compliment I want to give you on the night show. When you first saw her, you said, look at this fine thing here. I'm going to get her. You told the old country boy, right? But then, not only that. And as time went on in your relationship, and I started crying that night, and y'all was telling them, you can't sing a lick, Jay. Matter of fact, you sung the song to tell, come this fall by faith, lean it on the Lord. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah.
And not only that, and as you went through a metamorphosis in life, and when your wife, when you took your wedding vows, the way I interpret that, what you were saying, Cal was saying, and your wife was saying, it wasn't for worse, for better. And the situation happened, where you was a little down in life journey, and your wife was telling Cal that the situation y'all came out of at that time, from good to a little sadness, the dark clouds hang low. And you said that you have commitment to your husband. I'm going to stick with you through these trying times. I start crying. So Cal, Mr. J was sitting, I don't know what she said, she was sitting on the left side or right side, but Cal was saying something to you, and she said something. And you took a deep breath, and you said to Cal, thank you, Cal. Oh, what a wonderful compliment. And this thing, what we call love. Love is a verb. And love does not necessarily mean, especially in your relationship, and we see a lot of relationships where they're trying to take away the significance of commitment. And when you have one another and care for one another, once again, a verb, and when someone cares for you, and I'm an expert in this word caring. And the reason I'm an expert, they called me Dr. Love when I came up as a young man, because I am a lover of life. And the things, your story, I took that story of what y'all talking about tonight into the church. They put me on a program. And the significant, I want people to hear that, about great is our faithfulness. And for someone to cry for someone, oh, that's a wonderful thing. And let me say this to you and your wife. And all the things you have been able to accomplish, all y'all, the account, all y'all, When you leave this world, one don't know who's going to go before the other one. Let it be written for y'all in your relation, your daughter and your children. Let it be written for my mother and my father. Lord, I tried. Lord, I tried. And I hope that the Almighty God, Mr. J and ma'am and you, Cal, hope the Almighty God make y'all cry. Tears of joy. Priceless. Priceless. Because you are a caretaker to one another. What Mr. J was going through at that time, man. But that's the most crucial part of life. So I'm glad to hear y'all on here tonight. And I want this people in this audience to know these words. I know people hear me speak about Cal. I'm not talking no hanky-panky stuff and nothing like this. She mentioned her aunt and her uncle, 80-some years of age. When I heard her bring her family on here on this radio station at nighttime, these are the things that touch me. Who wouldn't that word love? Who wouldn't care for someone that cares for someone else? And take my word on this, beloved. My life was not very, very lovable. That's why I'm an expert in the word, in the word. And I've been blessed abundantly to have nice people to lift my spirit up, not with money. And when you have one another, your children will follow that same pattern that y'all are doing, what y'all do for one another in the rub up into this point. Great is our faithfulness. Trusting God. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you both of y'all.
Amen.
Amen.
Ron, we cannot thank you enough. Family, I do want to respond to what Ron just shared with us, but I'm going to do so after the break. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
WURD Radio is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older. Depending on the contest, persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employee are ineligible to win prizes. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. WURD Radio is the only African-American owned and operated talk radio station in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of only 3 remaining in the country. In the past 20 years, WURD has evolved into a multimedia, multi-platform communications company that reaches deeply into the Black community through radio, events, digital, and social media. It is considered the go-to channel to engage, interact, and connect with Philadelphia's Black community. Our brand is built on the personal legacy of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Dr. Lomax was a brilliant physician who established medical centers in underserved neighborhoods throughout Philadelphia to provide high-quality healthcare to Black and Brown communities for over 30 years. One of his most ambitious acquisitions was when he purchased WURD Radio. He understood the power of ownership and the power of independent media. Through WURD, he wanted to ensure that Philadelphia's Black community had the ability to speak and be heard in their own voice. We are celebrating 20 years of Black excellence. We are celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
Bank of America is stepping up when it matters most. Last year, to expand our efforts to advance racial equality and economic opportunity, we committed $1.25 billion over 5 years. To date, we've put nearly $400 million to work, including a $10 million grant to fund the Center for Black Entrepreneurship. At Bank of America, we call this a nice start. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America N.A. member FDIC Equal Credit Opportunity Lender.
We know the world is crazy. There's a never-ending stream of negativity constantly flowing by our ears. We need daily reminders that joy is essential. WURD Radio offsets the awful with daily words of joy and empowerment. These are on-air messages meant to uplift our spirit. We invite you, the WURD listener, to share your words of joy and empowerment with us. You can read a brief poem, share a favorite inspirational quote, an empowering story, or a passage from a book. Just call 215-425-7875, extension 107, and leave your words of joy and empowerment on the voicemail. Please make sure your message is 1 minute or less. It will be helpful to use a timer to stay on track. We look forward to broadcasting your words of joy and empowerment. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I'm Carol Riddick, the host of Love and Life, and I'm moving to a new time. And guess what, family? I will be live. That's right. I can speak with you about the real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual and committed relationships. Join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. beginning Monday, April 3rd. The conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness. So join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Streaming online at WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at WURDradio.com. You know I'm going to say it because I just like to say it. That's WURDradio.com. Family. World Cafe Live presents Sun Ra Orchestra on Thursday, April 20th at 8 p.m. at the World Cafe Live Music Hall, 3025 Walnut Street. The Sun Ra Orchestra is an American jazz group formed in the mid-1950s, which was originally led by keyboardist and composer Sun Ra. The group is considered a pioneer of Afrofuturism. Now, the orchestra is led by saxophonist Marshall Allen, who is supported by more than a dozen other musicians. We are giving away a pair of tickets to the 9th caller. If you call 215-634-8065, you will be the winner if you are the 9th caller. You cannot win if you won a prize from us in the past 30 days. You cannot win from us if you've won a prize in the past 30 days. Proof of vaccination is no longer required, and masking is optional, but both are strongly recommended. That's Sun Ra Orchestra at World Cafe Live on Thursday, April 20th at 8 p.m., 3025 Walnut Street. OMG. Now, see, I wish I could compete for that. That sounds awesome. Family, what I want to do Before I respond to Ron's comment, I want to go back to our socials and say hello to our family members who've been with us, who've been joining the conversation via social media. Gary writes that he can see that you all are a great couple. I told you, he said that he loves your chemistry and your authenticity, and that your smiles are so extremely infectious. Rowena says she loves the both of you. She loves the both of your stories. Congratulations, and many, many, many more wonderful years of marriage together, all in God's plans. God blessings always to your family. Nasir, hey there, Nasir. He's joining us, saying hello, peace and blessings as well. Beatrice Tansy is watching. Okay, Beatrice wants us to know. She wants you to know she is watching. Do you hear me? I want to respond to what Ron said. Ron, we appreciate Ron so much. He always gives us some pearls when he calls. And Ron did. He remarked to me about the episode that we shared, that you were on previously, and when you shared your story. So, family, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm going to ask Jay and Conchetta to share with us again what we were talking about. But Ron was speaking about you telling us your story, how it began and how it was coming along. And what he said was how, in the vows, it reads for better or for worse. And you both said no, for better or for better. The both of you said that. And it meant so much. It means so much. Again, which was one. It was another reason why I wanted you all to come back, because your story is so powerful to me. But clearly to others as well. So if you would not mind sharing with us again some of your journey and to what he was referring when we were talking about your marriage together.
Well, the crazy thing is, I don't think either one of us said for better or for better. That's crazy. But I think that was the takeaway of our testimony. But to go back and cover what we talked about the last interview, the segment was in sickness and in health.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about how we met, how we came up. And then I believe the second part of that interview, we discussed that Jay had a stroke in 2019 and how that turned our world upside down. And we just talked about how we just began to navigate through it with just daily life, daily living, from recovery to the household to emotions to spiritual. We just kind of went through those things. As you asked you asked us questions, we answered. But yeah, that was what we talked about. Jay had a stroke.
You're absolutely right. The takeaway was for better, because I have to tell you, it was an emotional episode for me as well, because I know you guys, I love you guys, and listening to you talk about everything. And now, mind you, you know what we say, what we were always taught to listen. We don't talk about home outside of home. That's how we were all raised.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it helps to talk about home outside of home. And I'm saying that because there were friends of ours, friends to the show, friends to the family, who called me, who said they were so grateful with your transparency. They were so grateful to hear you talk about it. One of my friends with whom I work in the industry is a musician, Mark Walker. He did the show as well. And he only did the show because he heard your episode.
Wow.
He said that he heard, he didn't want to talk about, because he had a series of mini strokes, and it was something with which he had been dealing, and he wasn't really accepting of what was going on with him, and then he said he heard you, Jay. He heard you he watched the episode, and he heard you talking about what you had been dealing with, and he felt comfortable talking about it.
Wow.
So I always say, family, we talk about what we say to ourselves. We constantly, I know we say to ourselves, because I say it to myself, that I'm the only one dealing with whatever it is I'm dealing with, and our issues are always the biggest issue, because it's our issue. And that's what life is. That's what life is. But I happen to believe that sometimes it's just therapy to just say it out loud. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you can just talk to yourself, but it feels better when you say it out loud and when you get it out there. But Ron was referring to the conversation we had about that part of your journey, where you were in your journey at that time, dealing with sickness.
Yeah.
Dealing with sickness.
I believe that nothing just happens except God allows it. And so when we go through things and we go through life, regardless if it's sickness or whatever, I just believe that it's for our good, but it's also for somebody else. We can't see it when we're in the middle of it and we're in the thick of it, but everything that we go through in life is for somebody else. Our testimony always helps somebody else. And we don't know it until that person is presented to us and, they're talking and all of a sudden you got to share your story.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And your story, you got to tell them how you came over. So I live by nothing just happens except God allows it. So when it happens, you have to say, okay, God, how am I going to navigate through this? What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to see in this? And so,
I believe that wholeheartedly. Everything you just said. Yeah, when you were talking about orchestration, I call it divine orchestration, because he definitely orders our steps. And I believe too that if we are not open enough to see what he is telling us or showing us in that moment, we'll go right back down that road. We will go right back down that road until we get it. But that's the beauty of how he is to us, because he gives us another chance.
Yeah.
He definitely gives us another chance to get it right.
Chance after chance.
What? I can't say it enough. Yes, I can't say it enough. So, I think that's the most amazing thing about, his demonstration of love for us and to us. But specifically with you all, Jay, I remember during the conversation, Jay, I know you're going to kill me after tonight. I know you're going to. I said I was going to ask Conchetta, and then I keep saying Jay. But Jay, I do have a question for you, because you were saying, I do remember the last time we talked about where you all were at that time in your journey, when you were talking about navigating sickness in your marriage. And it's something that of course, you don't plan for it. You don't think about it happening. So, when it comes upon you, not only are you dealing with it physically, but mentally, because now you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? And that's nothing that I don't know that anybody can prepare for, but you have your other half, your significant other, you have the love of your life. And you were telling us, you were sharing in that episode, saying, I had to be honest with her and I had to just talk to her, but it was hard getting to that conversation about how you were feeling. And I thought that was one of the most honest and strongest things I'd ever heard a man, say. Like, I had to accept what was going on with me, and I had to talk to my wife and be honest about how I was feeling and how we were going to navigate from that point. Because as human beings, listen, as human beings, I know how I feel. Like, okay, I can do everything. I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And that moment when I can't, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And to have Conchetta there and to know that you felt comfortable enough to talk with her and to share with her how you were feeling. And she said, you said, well, I'm remembering. So I'm so sorry, but it means so much to me, because it's so special to me. Your story is so special to me, so sweet. And you said you didn't skip a beat. He said she didn't skip a beat. you were feeling badly because you were feeling like, okay, well, there are things that look, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do that. And you were saying at that time, you couldn't in that moment. And Conchetta just picked it. She just said, okay, all right, well, let's get it. Let's keep moving. That's love. That right there is love. That's love. And I'm doing all the talking. I shouldn't be doing all the, don't listen to me. But I would like for you to talk about that moment when Conchetta, when Jay talked to you and he was talking about how, okay, this is where I am and this is how I'm feeling. Like, what was your thought process during that time?
I remember an incident once he came home from rehab. To this day, we don't know why, but our security alarm went off. And so I immediately jumped up out of the bed to come see what was going on and came downstairs. And he got up. And at this time, because it's right after, he's still a little unbalanced, and so he got up and he fell. And so I came downstairs. I heard the fall. I couldn't turn off the alarm because I needed to go back upstairs to figure out what was happening with him. I came upstairs and I said, I'll be right back. And he was like, I could just see in his face what was going on with, how he was feeling. So I came downstairs, I turned off the alarm, spoke to, our security people, and I came back upstairs and I helped him get up. And he was just, it was just devastating to him that he wasn't able to come downstairs. You know what I mean? And so he said, I'm the protector of this home. I do that. So I'm like, we just have to figure another way to do that. And so, we talked about, getting a firearm for the house, you know what I mean? And he's left-handed. His left hand was not affected in the stroke. So if this is what you want to do, you want to get a firearm, then you have to become a master with your left hand. So there's other way. You still can protect our home. And so that led into the conversation of, but I never, ever, ever want him to feel less than who he is. Ever. So, and I try, I hope I don't ever,
appreciate that.
I hope I don't ever, make him feel that way, but I'm very cautious of that.
I can only imagine, but I can tell you that I know when I'm in the company of the two of you, we play games, we have fun, we just have a good time. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what, that's what life is.
Right.
And I love that, the way that the two of you, quote, open quote, close quote, handle, because if it's, well, you handle, like when you handle, the way that you handle one another, the approach to one another. At the core, in, above, and under is always love. It's just love. It's not about anything else. And that was so it was so impactful to me when you were talking about that, when you shared that story the first time when we talked about it. And it's what I think it's so important when we talk about our relationships, when we talk about the who the Black woman is to the Black man and vice versa, and we talk about holding each other up, and we talk, I don't know that there are enough examples for our babies. I don't know that there are, but I know that you two are. I definitely know that you two are, and which is another reason. Like I said, I wanted to share. I was asking you to share your story because I love the way you love each other, how you hold each other up, whatever it is, like your response. You said, okay. Jay said, well, look, I need to, I protect this family. I am who I am. And you said, you absolutely are. We're just going to do it differently. Right. There wasn't a beat that was skipped. There was no pushback. There wasn't. And I believe I truly do believe, that is how we should handle each other. That is how we should approach one another. That is how we should communicate with one another, through love and in love. I see you. That was my takeaway from what you said to him. Oh, I see you. You didn't change to me. I see you. You still that little bow-legged little guy that I saw, that 17, 20-year-old bow-legged guy that I saw, with those pearly white teeth and that caramel complexion. Oh, I see him because he's still right there in front of me, and I love that. That's what I love, and I believe that is what keeps your relationship long standing, because the two of you, and I know, Jay, I know you're still watching a walk. I know you are. I know. I know you are, because that's what it is. That's what it is. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. And I know you two were talking about your grandchild that is on the way. Heavens to Murgatroyd. I can't wait for this little baby. I can't wait for this sugar lump to see all this love and feel it. And feel it, because that's when you talk about generations. That's when you talk about love, and that's when you talk about that bond being thick and strong. That's when you have that demonstration right there. Yeah, when you have it right there, when you have the demonstration of love at the core. And I know your kids, I know your children, and I know how they are. So I think it's such a beautiful thing when you talk about wedding vows. You're talking about in sickness and health, good, bad, and indifferent.
Right.
And you live it.
Absolutely.
And you live it.
Absolutely.
That's the difference with the two of you than some others. It's not just talk. It's not just talk. Family, listen, y'all listening to me talk. Y'all know I get carried away. I get to talking and I get to sharing, and because it means so much to me. It means so much to me. But if you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We're talking with Jay and Conchetta Williams. We're talking about love tonight. That's what we're talking about. We're just talking about love. I love to share everything with you because we talk about everything under the umbrellas of both love and life. That's the name of the show. That's what we do here. And we do it with full transparency. Ron called in, our friend to the show. Ron called and was sharing how he remembers part of the conversation that was shared the first time we talked. When we talked before, we were talking about love, but we were talking about in sickness and in health. And you all shared a part of your journey with us when you were dealing with sickness in the relationship, and like how your thought process when it first came about, and then trying to live through it and navigate it. Like, okay, so what now? I'm here. Like, how am I supposed to do this?
Absolutely.
How am I supposed to get through this?
I actually had to speak to someone maybe about a week or so ago, and while I have been praying, watching this person go through something, I have been praying and asking God, could I speak to this person? And when God allowed me to do that, I was able to share my testimony and actually really share what I felt, how I felt going through that. And so that they were able to understand that what they were feeling was okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What they were feeling, they didn't need to be ashamed of what they felt. They didn't need to be ashamed of how, being scared, because we as Christians, sometimes we pretend that we're not afraid of anything, although we're still trusting and believing God to do what we're asking him to do, but we're still afraid. And that's okay. Nike said, whatever you're going to do it, just do it. That's what Nike say, just do it. So you do it afraid. So we walk this journey daily, and I did it afraid. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know, but I knew that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. So, at the end, I told this person at the end, my takeaway from what Jay and I had gone through at that time, and we still going through, But my takeaway from going through at that time was to trust God and don't doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I live by. Trust and don't doubt. If he gives you something and he tells you something, just believe it. No matter what comes the next day, no matter how it looks, that day, whatever you're facing, trust God and don't doubt.
Mm-hmm. 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 You couldn't have said a truer statement. Trust God and don't doubt. But he tells us, listen, you can't live in fear. He tells us that anyway. And we're supposed to give it to him.
We're supposed to.
We're supposed to give it to him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Being human is so, oh my goodness.
And it's okay. I think we live in a world now, especially in the Christian world, and we talk a good talk until something happens. And when it happens, God is saying, well, where's what you were saying? Where's the faith that you were saying? Where, you said I was going to do this, but but at the same time, you're afraid to be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to be afraid. Just don't doubt what God said he was going to do.
Don't doubt. Don't ever doubt. Don't doubt God, period.
Exactly. The Bible says, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. Because sometimes the situation is so gigantic that it overwhelms you and you can't see. You can't see past the situation. And what's facing you, the stop sign says green, but right in front of you is red. It's just like, God, I believe. I see that sign. You're telling me to go, but I see the stop sign. So you got to keep saying, God, I believe, but help my unbelief. And you got to push your way through it. You have to, just keep pushing your way through it. So again, trust and don't doubt.
God, I believe, but help my unbelief. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Family, listen, we're talking about love. We're talking about life. We're talking about everything in between. I realize we have a caller on the line, but we have to take a short commercial break. I'm coming right back to you on our phones when we come back. So please stay with us.
SEPTA is hiring. As an employee, you will earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
Did you know Henry Ossawa Tanner, the first internationally known African-American painter, lived and studied right here in Philadelphia? As the first Black student admitted to the prestigious Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, Tanner broke barriers with his innovative moving paintings and influenced generations of artists around the world. To find out more about the efforts to preserve his legacy and North Philadelphia childhood home, visit thetannerhouse.org, a message from the Friends of the Tanner House.
This is your celebration.
I'm Jonathan Stiles from the Museum of the American Revolution, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. At the Museum of the American Revolution, we believe that a more inclusive history is a more accurate history, and we so appreciate how WURD has allowed us to reach different communities, to share that message, and engage with us in the work that we're doing. So happy birthday, WURD. You're doing incredible work. Thank you so much for how you're serving the Philadelphia community.
Hello, I'm Mark Gaines from New York City, originally from Philadelphia, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. This is an amazing accomplishment and something that I think the community really needs, and something that will build a foundation for generations to come. I stand with WURD on the 20th anniversary now and forever, and future anniversaries to come. Special shout out to Sarah Lomax, who is continuing this legacy of my grandfather, and I hope to someday be a part of it, help WURD grow as well. Again, congratulations.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We're having a conversation about love. We're having a conversation about life. We're having a conversation about everything in between. And family, you are joining the conversation, as you know I always invite you to do. Sanji, on our socials, writes that this life was not designed for us. She wrote, "We were designed for life, to share our trials and triumphs. God is very strategic. We go through things to pull someone else out." Oh my goodness, that's so true. That's so true. That is so true. Joey Dixon says, "Peace, WURD family, one love and jazz to you." We are always so grateful for all of our family members that join us, whether you're listening, whether you're watching, but we also appreciate especially the communication when you reach out to us. I believe we have a caller on the line. Gary, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Good evening to you. How are you today?
Good evening, and good evening to your couple. The wife's name is Conchetta.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I had to call in after listening because I've been listening for a while, and the two of them are such a great couple. You can hear what they're saying. You can feel their sincerity. And I just wanted to share something. As a black man, you know, love is important. And I have a lot of friends. We're married, and we talk about different things going on in our relationships and what we deal with in society. For a black man, one thing a black man demands and must have is respect. And that's from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, in some of our conversations, wow, we don't get that respect that we should get from our significant other. And that's something that rips at your heart, because we deal with things on the job, we deal with things in society. I understand we can have differences, but when somebody steps over that line with disrespect, wow, you have to really dial yourself back. So I just wanted to say I admire the two of you. I can hear the much respect you have for your husband. You know, I've gone to a conference recently, and a couple of the brothers, we sat around and talked, and we had some of the similar stories, and it's like, wow. And these are not any run-of-the-mill guys, and I'm not a run-of-the-mill guy. I had grown sons. I took care of them, sent them to private school, had them involved in basketball, soccer, everything. I've been that stellar dad and everything, but it's like sometimes we go through things, and it's like we're trying to figure out, well, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Why is it like this? And one thing I'm going to attribute it to, some of the programming on TV, I'm not going to give it the main excuse, but I see some of these, and I don't want to name the person, but some of these shows he has on, a prominent black person, and I look at that, and I'm like, wow, this is detrimental to anybody's relationship. And too many of our women are feeding in to this nonsense. And they feel they can say and do what they want to do. And it goes for on both sides. But I'm just saying right now I see a lot that's affecting the females with some of this programming. But I just want to say you guys are awesome. I admire you. And I wish you many, many, many more years of marriage together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Gary, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate what Gary shared. And one of the points that he made, he was talking about, you know, everything that we see now on television, everything that we are exposed to, and how our babies are being exposed to the same thing, which was why I was saying to you, you know, we don't see a lot of couples like you know, they're and family, before you don't get mad at me, because I know there are more couples out there. You know I do. I do. I would love to have all of them on here talking about their stories if I could. But I'm identifying and recognizing the ones that I know and that I see, and whose lives of which I'm aware. And I know you, and I love you too. And I know that there's so much out here right now. There's so much out here. And it's attacking the woman, attacking the man, and attacking our relationships. We don't have a lot of positivity. As Gary was just saying, I'm agreeing with you. There's not a lot of positivity out here. So, which was one of the reasons why I say your story touches me so deeply, because I see how you are with each other. I mean, I live it. I talk to you. I see you. I'm in your company. And like I said before the commercial break, I said, look, Conchetta talks to him like because he is still that 17/20-year-old bow-legged caramel complected guy with the white teeth. Okay. That's who Jay is. And I love that. I love that. But I'm curious. Like, how do you maintain that? How do you develop that? How do you even get that? I'm a single person. Like, you know, how?
I think we talked about this the last time.
We've got new family members who weren't with us, so we're sharing again.
So, you know, I had said before, you know, I have, you know, an alter ego. I think that so let's go back. Jay says that, you know, we navigate through this and we maintain this because he walks away when we have heated discussions. He just walks away because, you know, when we have heated discussions, Connie comes out.
I forgot about Connie. You know, I forgot. Jay, you let me walk into that too. I forgot about Connie.
Connie comes out, but, you know, but for the most part, you know, I think that we maintain it because, again, we know how to. Now, don't get me wrong. Our heated discussions, we can get heated, but we know at a certain point it's time to walk away and then come back. You know what I mean? And so I think that is the key, knowing when to walk away and then when to come back.
So that helps you exercise that respect for one another as well, to maintain that respect for one another.
Yeah.
That's important. That's important. That is so important. I know I hear a lot, you know, people say, well, it's when you're in those arguments, when you're in those heated moments, that's when you should be especially careful and aware, because what you say, you know, because words hurt.
Right.
So knowing when to walk away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. My pastor says, don't say something when you're angry that you can't take back when you're healed. Don't say something when you're hurt that you can't take back when you're healed.
Never
he says that a lot. And so, you know, you have to be very careful, you know, and when you're having discussions, not just heated discussions, you can just be having a conversation. Communication is key. But when you're having a conversation, you have to listen to respond, but not act. You know what I mean? Listen to respond to what they are saying, to the person is saying, and not listen to react to what they're saying. That's very important as well. Because if you do that, then you would prevent those heated discussions.
That is so important. Well, we do have one of our family members who have joined us that we all know and love, meaning you and I. I'm Janaea Cherie, your beautiful daughter. She writes, it's so beautiful to witness my parents' journey and love inspire others. I'm blessed to have them as my parents and primary example of love and longevity. That was so beautiful. See what I mean? You see what I mean? Listen, families, this is what I'm talking about. I know you're saying, well, my aunt and uncle and so and so and so. Well, I want to talk to them too. because I want to know all the secrets. I want to know all the secrets to love and longevity. So I want to talk to all of them. But I love, again, the extension of your family speaking toward your love, and the extension meaning your children, meaning your friends, meaning your unit, meaning your tribe. And I'm a part of that. Speaking about your love and speaking about your journey, I think it's a wonderful thing. So you said that you mentioned Conchetta. You said, yeah, we're still in the midst, of the struggle. I don't know, because I don't know. I'm looking, I see y'all look like y'all are in full stride. Y'all are good to go, which I love, But what kind of challenges? I do want to know, what kind of challenges are you guys facing now because I consider it aftermath, but I guess it's not the aftermath, is it?
It kind of is.
Okay.
Because really he still deals with the physical aspect of the stroke, and then also the mental part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's challenging daily. And as far as the physical, I can see, what he may need, and if he's moving a certain way, I'm like, what happened? Or if he stumbles, I'm there. You know what I mean? Sometimes he'll try to do stuff, on his own, and then I'll I'll look at his back and, did you fall? No. You sure you ain't fall? No, I ain't fall. But he has a bruise. You know what I mean? So those things are challenging, where he don't want to share with, when he tries to do things on his own that he needs help with.
But none of us do. None of us do.
That's true.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't. Like I was telling you, I don't. I was, before I even say that about me and sharing, I want to say again, thank you for sharing and for being transparent, because I know how hard it is. I sit here and I talk to you, family, and I tell you, y'all know I'm transparent. Y'all know. Well, let me tell you something. I wasn't always. I would hold it in. And no matter what it was, I'm the person that will hold something in until I have that chest pain, or until I don't sleep, and it gnaws at me. I'm that person now. I didn't master the sleep yet, but the chest pain, I got rid of that. I'm learning to let go of things, and to share, or to let someone know when I'm in need. That was never easy for me.
It's still
never. No, it is not easy. It is not easy. You'll ask me and I will need, and I won't tell you. I will not tell you, so I just want to say, I want to tell you just again how much I appreciate the two of you for talking with me about this, because we all deal with something. Everybody has something. We all deal with something, that's individually and as a couple. I know that everybody deals with something, but to talk about it, to share it, to say that it's real, and to say, oh yeah, I mean, it exists, but we got it. We're working with it and through it. That is what's so powerful to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, that's what I feel our babies need. They need to see that. They need to know, and because of everything that we see nowadays, everything that's on TV, everything that's on the radio, these images that are constantly being shown to us. We're getting so far from who we as a Black woman and Black man should be to one another.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree.
So that's why I keep repeating, I love you guys, and I love your story, because you said, yeah, okay, we'll talk about it. Jay said, well, look, now I ain't no talker, but if you ask me a question, I'll answer it. So I appreciate that, because he could have said, look, I don't talk, and left it at that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, because you're being open, honest, transparent with us. Like, yeah, this is, this happened. This is what it is. This is life, but we're here.
Right.
This is life. This is life. We're here. So, family, You hear me. You hear me. You hear me. I get excited. I stay on 10, and then sometimes I jump up to 50 just within a split second. So I'm going to bring myself back down. If you've just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We've been talking about love, life, everything in between, everything under the umbrellas of both. And we've been inviting you to join the conversation. And some of you have, Ron and Gary have, but we're inviting you too to join the conversation. Talk with us. You know, that's what we do here. And you can do so by calling 215-634-8065 or toll free 1-866-361-0900. But listen, I just said that. I just asked you to call, but we've got to take a commercial break. So don't be mad at me, okay? Because we're only going to be gone for just a moment. When we come back, let's all just continue the conversation, okay? So stay with us.
Yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. If you're looking for a home care agency with honor, then Good Brothers Home Care fits the bill. And besides the honor, Good Brothers have great pay, benefits, and experienced caregivers. So if you're in the need of home care services or would like to transfer to an agency, contact us at 215-874-9300. That's 215-874-9300, or hit us up on the web at goodbrothershomecare.com.
Mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WURD Radio is the only African-American owned and operated talk radio station in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of only 3 remaining in the country. In the past 20 years, WURD has evolved into a multimedia, multi-platform communications company that reaches deeply into the Black community through radio, events, digital, and social media. It is considered the go-to channel to engage, interact, and connect with Philadelphia's Black community. Our brand is built on the personal legacy of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Dr. Lomax was a brilliant physician who established medical centers in underserved neighborhoods throughout Philadelphia to provide high-quality health care to Black and Brown communities for over 30 years. One of his most ambitious acquisitions was when he purchased WURD Radio. He understood the power of ownership and the power of independent media. Through WURD, he wanted to ensure that Philadelphia's Black community had the ability to speak and be heard in their own voice. We are celebrating 20 years of Black excellence. We are celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Just before the commercial break, I was inviting you all to continue the conversation with us. Join us. You know we like to talk to you. I was explaining to you that those of you who would like to call, you can do so by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You know, we only have a few minutes left to tonight's episode. We've been talking with Jay and Conchetta Williams. And for those of you who have missed me say it, I've said it all night. I love them. And I love the love that they share between the two of them. They are return guests. They joined us in an episode prior, and they were talking about their love story. They shared their love story with us. And they were talking about, well, I can't even say like, I say that like it's past tense. They shared the beginning journey of their love story, you know, what's taken place thus far. And they're sharing with us now that, yeah, we are here. We're still here. We've got a grandbaby on the way, which I cannot believe. Wait, let me tell you this, because I know you missed this. If you just tuned in, I know you missed this. I asked Conchetta, I said, so you got this new sugar lump coming. Are you going to be a glam mom? And she said, absolutely not. No, I will be called Honey. I love that. I could just see this little person saying, Honey.
I can't wait.
I know. Listen, I know, because I can feel the excitement. But I'm excited for you. You're gonna have this little grandbaby. That wait, your poor son and his wife. They're not going to be able to. Oh, I see it coming.
Yeah.
Look at the two of you. The two of you are like, yeah. Oh no, it's a done deal. Oh, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah. Janaea, my daughter, she's just like, I know. He takes precedence over everything. I said, yeah. I said, but you know what? This will be your last Christmas. You got a good, because he only be 6 months. But next year, all bets is off.
Oh,
all about him. So,
when you think about that, we just talked about you two meeting, seeing each other at 15 and 17/20. What does that feel like knowing? I mean, like, just thinking about it, processing that you're about to be grandparents.
Well, when we first found out, I think for a good month, we would kind of just look at each other and be like, we're going to have a grandbaby. We just be in disbelief. One of us would just look at the other one and say, we're going to be grandparents. He was ready. He'd been ready.
10 years ago.
He said 10 years ago. He has been bugging our children. When y'all gonna give me grandchildren? When y'all gonna give me grandchildren? I'm like, leave them alone. They're living their life. They're establishing their careers. They're finishing school, and just leave them alone. They're fine. We raised them right, and blah 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 blah. My son called us and told us he was he had this piece of paper, and he's a music producer. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, what's that contract for? Like, how much is this for? And he said, this contract tells you that you're going to be grandparents. And I started screaming, and he just put his head down. He didn't say anything. He was real emotional. So, we've been excited. We just can't wait. Can't wait. Book my flight right at that time. Yeah. So the flight has been booked for the last 8 months.
Oh my! Wait. So have you guys started buying stuff for the grandbaby yet?
What?
Oh,
we bought no, really.
Hey, Jason.
Around Christmas time, we bought two small things, and we just couldn't resist them.
He's got 2 bank accounts. Just,
okay.
You know what I mean? 2 bank accounts.
He does. We started them as soon as we found out.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't really buy anything. They do have a registry, but we're waiting to see exactly what they need. But we bought 2 little items. We were in the store and we were at the register, just couldn't resist, and we bought them. But no, we haven't,
Well, Honey said 2 little things. Are they little things, Jack?
They were little.
They're little.
Oh, remember the booties? They were little.
Okay.
A pair of booties, and then a hat and some booties.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's right. He does have 2 bank accounts. My son said, well, what happened to me and Taya? Like, I said, well, when you know better, you do better.
Y'all better have the answers. Y'all better have the answers. All I know is that when this baby gets here, when this little sugar lump gets here, it's going to be a whole new world. I don't know. Y'all might not come back to the East Coast.
My job is that. My job is in fear of that.
Well, I mean, that's what it sounds like. Sounds like to me. I
come back. I'm just gonna make frequent trips. If I have to fly out on a Friday and come back on a Monday,
I mean.
Yeah.
So you will leave the baby there. You're not bringing the baby back, though. You're not going to take the baby.
If they don't let me, then I'll have to leave her. I'm gonna tell you this. My son and daughter were having a conversation. They wanted to do something. She's going to California. They wanted to do something, and she said, "Well, who's going to watch the baby?" He said, "Oh." He said, "Well, I just asked mom," and she said, "Jay, it's not like mom is around the corner." He said, "If I call mom," I said, "Absolutely. When you want me to babysit, I'm on my way."
No, that's well, from the way it sounds like the two of you will be there because Jay said, "Excuse me." He's like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
You did not hesitate, Jay. Okay. He said, "Look, I've been silent here. I walk softly, but I carry a big stick." That's who Jay is. Jay said, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like if the baby needs a babysitter. Well, wait. We've got Honey and wait, what is the baby going to call you, Jay? What?
I'm not sure yet.
Wait. Wait. You know what that sounds like? What that looked like? The way that Conchetta just looked at you, it looks like you might have like a few names, and you're trying to like, you're trying to decide which one of those names is going to be. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured as much. See, I knew it. And you look like. Oh no. That was that. It's between this and this. So have you narrowed it down to 3 names or 2?
Just 2.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait to find out. Family. Oh my goodness. We hope that you have had as much fun with us as we have been having with you. You know, we're getting to that point in the show that I just don't like. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Wait, well, we do have a question. I'm sorry, I was about to do some closing, but Rowena was asking, what does Mr. J want the baby to call him? She wants to know. They want to know. Our family members want to know. They want to know. What are the names? What are you deciding? What are the 2 names? What are we deciding? Or what are you deciding?
Maybe Poppy or something like that.
Poppy. He said Poppy.
Yeah, okay, is it Poppy? Okay. So that's the one that's winning.
Yeah.
Okay, so Poppy and Honey. It's Poppy, right? Like
the other one, not too many people can pronounce it. It's like an inside joke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say what? So Rowena J is saying he's waiting. He's leaning toward Poppy. He's leaning toward Poppy. So it'll be Poppy. And Janae said granddaddy. So it is she.
But see, it's not granddaddy.
It's not granddaddy. That's what he's talking about. It's how he's pronounced it. That is the second one.
You know what? It just sounds like so much fun. Well, Sanji said grandfather. Okay.
No.
Okay.
So formal.
No.
Okay. And Rowena said thank you. Rowena said thank you for obliging her with your response. Thank you so much for sharing, because we were wondering. We were all saying, okay, well, what are the 2 names? You know. Joanne said she is just elated with all of this love. Better together. Thanks for being the gifts that you all are. I just love that, family. You know I love that. I love and I love all of you. And I love to share love. You know I say it. I did not say it at the beginning of the show, though, for our family members whose light is a little dim. Oh, but you know I love you. And you know I'm sending you extra love, hugs, and some cuddles. Okay? So as we wrap up tonight's episode, the WURD family is sending you, Jay and Conchetta, our love and well wishes with this new bundle of joy that you have coming. And we're going to ask you to keep us posted so I can tell our family members, you know, when the sugar lump has arrived.
Absolutely.
You know, we love all that goodness. Family, I extend to you all of my gratitude because you continue to support love and life, and you continue to join the conversation. And that just means the world to me. Special thanks to you, Jay and Conchetta, for joining us and sharing your time, your energy, your love, and your attention with us.
Thank you for having us again.
Always. And thank you to the entire WURD family, especially producer extraordinaire Kayla J, for making sure everything runs smoothly Family, I tell you this every single episode. You know that we're all in this together. So be good to you, please. But be good to those around you. Have a great night, family, and be sure to join us again Monday through Thursday, 7 through 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Good night, family.
Night.
Stay connected on the go with the new and improved WURD